Been having this conversation here on about cycling, about buying a new bicycle, and there's a bit of confusion between me and Light Roadie, where we were kind of. He was saying that if you buy the 105, it's only £100 more at the time of purchase, and I said, well, it's not that important. You could buy the Tiagra because you're going to replace stuff later on. And it has a good point. It has a good point. But my point was that you can buy later on. Let's go here. Let me have a look at this. Let's start using some examples. Let's try and find Giant Bicycles UK and have a look at my bike. Now, what I'm kind of saying, this applies to the let's go on Defy. Let's just go on all the Defys. This applies to all of them. Let's use the Defy on there. Yeah, road bikes. This is the better way to get into it, men, because then we can see what's going on. Endurance 5 models. Okay, they've come down a bit. This is not got last year's one. Let me just cut this a minute and go to. Okay, right, we're on here. This is not where I want to be. Let's go road bikes and just see. N15. Endurance. I haven't got the 2016 or the 2015. Okay, right. Let's try it this way and see if we can see the difference. Right, if you buy the DeFi Advanced, right? I've got DeFi Advance 2. I got last year's model DeFi Advance 2. And that has full specs. It has 105 on it. This year, it's done it the same again. The crankset is the Shimano RS 500, right? So it's not full 105. So it's a bit of a shit, really. You think it's all 105, but it isn't. The crank is not. Costs you £70 to switch that out. But everything about this bike is the same as the DeFi Advanced Pro, except for the fork. Now the DeFi Advance Pro, look at that Zero, that's £3,499. It comes with Dura Ace. So at some point, like me, I'm going to swap out the wheels because pretty much everyone swaps out the wheels. No matter what bike you buy, you're going to swap the wheels, right? So even this SLR Zero here, £3,499. If you haven't got £3,499, you can buy the DeFi Advance. You could even buy the DeFi Advance 3, but I don't know about the DeFi Advance 3 using the same carbon as the DeFi Advance Pro. I read a review where it said the DeFi Advance 1 and the DeFi Advance 2 uses the same carbon. So £1,299. You could probably get that. If you get last year's model, you're looking at £1,000. You know, maybe under, right? And then the DeFi Advance Pro, right? So it starts at Pro Zero, but you know, shit, Pro Zero, that's going to have full 105 on it. But that's not the point. Well, now let's let that load a minute, just fucking. Oh, because I don't want to do that, right? DeFi Advance Pro, right? The point is, so you can come in at £1,000, and at some point you're going to change the wheels after you've rid it to shit, right? You could keep the wheels that it came with on the 1,499 on the DeFi Advance 2 that you got for around £1,000, and keep them for winter wheels. So you've got some winter wheels. Now this comes with Dura Ace. So at some point you're going to swap. At some point the chain's going to wear out. So you're going to change the chain. The cranks are going to wear out. That's going to wear out. So what I'm saying is, for that low price, if you haven't got £3,500 at the time, by the time you've rode the 105, by the time you've worn it out and you've got bored and you're thinking that you want a new bike, you could buy Dura Ace and stick it on, pardon me, your DeFi Advanced 2 or 3 or 1, and you'll effectively have a DeFi Advance Pro except for the polycarbon fork, which is better for descending. It doesn't make any difference when you're just riding along, when you're climbing up the hills. So that's what I'm trying to say is, by the time you get bored with your bike, you will have enough money to maybe buy another bike. So say you've got £1,000. By the time you got bored with your bike and rode it till it's broke, you've got another £1,000. So with that £1,000, you could upgrade the drivetrain and make it more closer to the DeFi Advance Pro, if that makes sense, right? And the same thing you can do with the DeFi. Let's look at the DeFi. Right, DeFi Zero comes in at £1,000. The DeFi 4 comes in at £525. Okay, you can probably get last year's model even cheaper. So, okay, so this is the same frame again. So you're getting, what are the full specs on this? You're getting Shimano Claris 16 speed. Okay, but you can change this out. See, the less you spend, the uglier it gets. I'm going to be blunt about that. You look at the way the tubing goes, you look at the seat post. I don't like the welding as much. Some people don't mind welding. The more you spend, the prettier it gets. It's the same as the DeFi Advance Pro. It all gets prettier. And they pretty them up. You know, that's Shimano Fox 105. That's not even 105. You can tell straight away by looking at it. Shimano 105, cassette chain, crankset, yeah, go, RS 500. So it's Ultegra. The cassette's 105. The brake levers are Ultegra. The rear derailleur is Ultegra, right? So this is a right mishmash on this. Front derailleur is 105. The shifters are Ultegra. So it's almost like they've got freaking like bits left over in the box and they've stuck it on it, on each bit. But well, you could, you know, so you're going to change things even on that Ultegra. It's not as good as Dura Ace, right? So on that, that's probably a worse proposition than the cheaper one. Because on this, you're only really going to upgrade to Ultegra. You're going to change your cassette as it wears out. Okay, so you're going to buy an Ultegra. Your brake levers stay the same. Your derailleur stays the same. Your front derailleurs are 105. What the? See, Steve even bolted a 105 on that. So it does work. All these mismatches of parts work. So even if you get cheap deals on stuff. So really, what I'm saying is pick the color that you like. Because that frame there, the DeFi 4, is the same as the DeFi Zero. So if you've got £500 and you think, well, I'm going to ride that till it freaking breaks, it's going to, you know, you're going to get a year's worth of riding easily out of it. And then you know, you're looking at, well, I want a new bike, but really you don't want a new bike. You don't need a new bike. It still works the same. But you could put Dura Ace on that if you want and have a nice smooth drivetrain. And you've then got a bike that nobody else really has. Like when I look at what I was saying about mine, the DeFi Advance, what I had last year's, okay? When you look at the colours that it comes in, the DeFi Advance, it comes in blue and black, right? Which is, and white and grey. The blue and black one, the DeFi Advance 1, is close as to the DeFi Advance Pro, but it's not quite. It's black and blue there, blue and black. Grey, white, it's different. It's slightly different. So when you just jazz it up, you can get almost to that by doing it in, because if your cash flow's not the same, you haven't got the money there in one go. Maybe you have, right? I didn't want to spend that much money on my first road bike because I was riding road bike when I was younger and then I was riding a mountain bike, which I didn't get into as much as what I have my road bike. But I didn't know that. So I ended up with the DeFi Advance 2, last year's model. Older models. And I really like it. I love it to bits. It's a freaking brilliant bike. And absolutely brilliant bike. I wouldn't change it for the world. And I would put Dura Ace on it. I would put Di2 on it. Because DeFi Advance 2, 2015. I don't think this is the colour that I've got. Is it? Yeah, it is, right? So like you're playing for a bit of ugliness. The seat is not the best looking seat. You know, Fox 105, the crank is RS 500, but it's a good winter crank. You can put that on, it's easy to clean, it's good for the winter. Wheels, I would like some maybe some better rolling hubs and some lighter wheels to see how it would go, would be nice. But the frame, it's the same frame as the Advanced Pro. And like, it's 1.4, I didn't pay that, I paid like $1,000. And, you know, I've really hammered like 2,700 kilometers on it now. So I know the bike really well. I think it's a brilliant bike. I love it to bits. And I don't see why I would want to change it. I could buy the fork. I could buy the Pro fork, the full carbon fork. I don't know how much difference that would make. To me, really, it's like I'm not like shit. You know? So I could put Dura Ace on that, or I could take that money for Dura Ace and buy another bike. It's like sidestepping. It's like going from here to there and thinking that it's a better fucking view, it's a better bike. What the fuck? I've already got the frame and that, and I like it. So why not just upgrade it to the higher specs? And that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I could pay more now, and then it's just going to cost me to change it. But it's just, that should make sense, right? Right, so buy a bike that you like the look of, because bikes, they're like girls. When you look at them, you've got to want to ride them. I guess the same goes for girls. When they look at boys, you know, they want to, you got to want to ride it. So buy the bike that makes you want to ride it.